from now. Okay, so let me just jump into Facebook so that we're all up and running in the right group. Okay, yeah, share into your group, perfect. This will only take 1 minute now. Here we go. Go live. Yes, and during this time, it always takes those few minutes, Sherna. So how are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. And thank you for having me, Michelle. It's lovely to be here and a glorious day here in Clonakilty. So very much looking forward now to giving some, top tips for great skin days.
Yes, and looking forward to receiving those as well. And the perfect weather out there at the moment for the skin, I think, Sherna, isn't it? Because we all get, it's very hard to know sometimes, I think, really, when it comes to our skin and what's working and what's not working.
Absolutely. And I think, again, as seasons change, sometimes skin will need something more, something less. So I think the key thing, Michelle, is really just getting the basics right and then adapting.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose welcome everybody. I suppose we kick off just now, I think, Sherna, because I know your time is precious and we're so delighted to have you on this morning. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I suppose to kick off, for those that don't know me, my name is Michelle Ryan. I'm a nutritional therapist and a life coach as well. And I work with various people with regards to, their health, and their health really comes in a holistic approach. So there's many different functions of our health that need to be working correctly and together in order for us to thrive. And one of the series that I set up is BWell Connect and Thrive, and we're going to work with our very expert specialist here this morning, Sherna Malone, as part of BWell Connect and Thrive, and also as part of my health capsule as well, to share with everyone with regards to hints and tips on great skin days. So Sherna, for those that don't know you, would you like to maybe just introduce yourself a little and give us a little bit of a background? I'm sure everyone would love to hear.
Of course, Michelle. Well, now we can go the long version or the short version, but I'll keep it brief. Basically, I'm a facialist and skin health expert, and I'm based here in Clonakilty in West Cork, but I'm originally from Dublin and I'm here 8 years now. But my background is beauty. My mother founded Ireland's first beauty therapy training school back in 1972. It's still training students. And I would have been involved in the business. I taught in the school, and it was myself and my sister Bronwyn. And then we decided to make a move to West Cork, and I have twins, and we love life in Clonakilty and in West Cork. And I just set about then basically helping people with their skin here, and it is an absolute passion of mine. Skin health is so important, and every day I get to help people on their skin journey and getting them to, successfully manage their skin and have great skin days. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here. And I'm going to talk you through everything now. So
Brilliant.
Michelle?
Yeah, I think, kick off with great skin days.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure if there's any questions, Sherna, we can look at them and
absolutely. And people can always reach out to me via email if they have any questions, or if they're looking for advice or help with their skin or treatments. Obviously, the clinic is here in Clonakilty in Rossett Street if they need to get in touch with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So I'm going to start here. 1 second there now, and we'll kick off. So, I mean, you alluded to it, Michelle, just at the very beginning. For me, skincare is multifactorial. It is not just what you're putting on your skin. It's very much about your mind, your health, nutrition, your gut health, sleep, stress. All of these impact your skin. So it's very important that everything is working together. And I very much take a holistic approach to skin. When somebody comes to me for the first time, it's not just, what skincare are you using? It's, well, how are you sleeping? What are your stress levels like? what is your gut health like? And that is so important, because if there is inflammation in the gut, that can lead then to inflammation in your skin, which can present, in many different ways. Acne, rosacea, dryness, irritation. It really depends. So I always say you have to look at the whole picture. It is not just about what you are putting on your skin. So when it comes to skincare, and I really want to stress this, you do you. We are bombarded every day on Instagram, Facebook, selling. And people will go and they'll buy product, they'll use the product, and they'll be like, oh my God, this isn't working, this doesn't suit my skin. Because you have to know what your skin needs and what suits your skin. So you need to do what's best for your skin. You don't overthink it, and whatever you do, don't make it complicated. And don't be influenced by what others are doing. What your sister might be using, Michelle, or if you have a sister or whatever, might not necessarily suit you. But I think there's this tendency to just go online. We're all sometimes looking for eternal youth. We buy the product and then it's actually not suitable, or else we're buying too many products and it's wreaking havoc on our skin barrier. Yeah, first and foremost, really just stay in your lane and do what's right for you and your skin. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the absolute essentials when it comes to building a good skincare practice. So what are the daily practices that we need to ensure a healthy skin barrier, that our skin is properly protected, and what's really going to move the needle and help you on your skincare journey, no matter what age you are. And if we can just, briefly touch on skin barrier, it is so important that we keep our skin barrier happy and healthy. Because when our skin barrier is compromised, and that can be down to incorrect product usage, overusage of certain products, over exfoliating, your skin barrier will show that. And sometimes that will be in the form of redness, irritation, dryness, breakouts, etc. So it's very important that we have the absolute essentials, and then we can tweak as the seasons change, whether we need a little bit more of something, a little bit less of something. So we're going to just basically start with the basics. And the first one is cleansing. And I get asked this all the time. Should I cleanse in the morning? Absolutely. Water is not enough. Okay. You need, though, to have careful cleansing. And by that, I mean nothing that's going to be too harsh that will strip the skin or leave it feeling tight. And if it does leave it feeling tight, it is not the right cleanser for your skin. So it's very important that you pick one that is the right one. And I always go for gentle cleansing, because we need to protect that skin barrier. And I find, product-wise, one that I recommend to an awful lot of clients would be CeraVe, because their hydrating cleanser, just the very simple hydrating cleanser, is a very good one, widely available. And you do cleanse in the morning because you've gone to bed at night with your skincare. Through the night, again, oils, tossing and turning in your pillow, dirt, whatever is in the air has obviously landed on your skin. So the next morning, you do need to cleanse your skin and refresh it so that it's ready for the products that you are going to apply. So once you're doing gentle cleansing, there's no issue. What happens sometimes is people go in very harsh. And I'll give you an example. CeraVe have this lovely hydrating cleanser, but they also have one that's called SA, and it has, smoothing cleanser. And so many people make the mistake of getting that one, but it's actually salicylic acid based, and it's for spots, acne.
Okay.
But in actual fact, it's even, I find, too harsh for the face. But it's a great one if you're experiencing breakouts on your back. So, gentle cleansing all the way, cleanse in the morning, and in the evening, double cleanse. Now, double cleansing is important even if you don't wear makeup, because you should be wearing your sunscreen every day. So in order for skin to be, again, clean and free of the dirt, the grime, the pollution, the sunscreen, you need to go in twice. And the first cleanse is just to, remove all the, heavy stuff, whether that's makeup, as I said, sunscreen, whatever has landed on your face in any given day. You do the first cleanse to clean the skin, and then the second cleanse is literally just another little pump onto the skin, massage it in, remove with a warm washcloth, and then your skin is ready for your treatment products to follow. So cleansing is very, very important. Diligent hydration. We need to replenish skin with moisture and retain that moisture throughout the day. But everyone's moisturizing requirements will be different. So if you're somebody who is oily, you will still need to moisturize your skin, but you will probably just need something that's a lighter formula, or perhaps a gel moisturizer. If you're somebody that's particularly dry, you might need a moisturizer that has a little more emollients to it, or a little bit more nourishing. And this goes back again to what I said at the very beginning. Know your skin and what your skin needs, and then you choose the product accordingly. I often get asked, oh, but I have oily skin, I don't need to moisturize. You actually do, because if you don't, what happens is the sebaceous gland will go into overdrive. It will secrete oil to make up for the fact that you're not actually moisturizing it. And that's when we have breakouts. So diligent hydration, careful cleansing. If you think of those as the bookends, Michelle.
Yeah.
It's important.
And hydration, just as you mentioned it there, I suppose water is key as well.
Well, Michelle, this is again a bit of a misconception. Water is so important to hydrate your body.
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to skin, and people say, oh, I'm very bad, I don't really drink enough water, or I should be drinking 8 glasses of water for my skin. Your body needs water, it needs hydration. When it comes to skin, what is actually better or more beneficial for your skin cells is eating water. So Michelle, your water-rich foods, your cucumbers, tomatoes, watermelon, anything that has a high water content, shove that into you, because Dr. Howard Murad, that coined the phrase, eat your water.
Okay.
And the skin cell is much then better with that. As I said, drinking gallons and gallons of water is not necessarily going to be amazing for your skin. Obviously, it helps hydrate the whole body, but eating water is actually even
more beneficial. Yeah.
I want to, again, we spoke about the lovely weather, but protection. And you cannot build a sound skincare routine without preventing the most preventable part of the aging process. And UV is, amounts, or, to give you a statistic, 80 to 90% of skin aging is actually down to UV damage. So that's UVB, which is your burning ray, but also UVA, which is the aging ray. And so many people don't realize that the UVA ray is present 365 days a year. I'm giving this Zoom here this morning. I have a window in front of me. UVA is penetrating through that glass. If you're working from home by a window, UVA is penetrating through that glass. If you're driving the car, UVA is penetrating through that glass. On a cloudy day, it doesn't matter a jot what day it is, what type of weather it is, UVA is present. And it is so important to adopt sun smart behavior, but also to protect your skin on a daily basis. So everyone should be applying a broad spectrum sunscreen every single day. And it is the most inexpensive way to prevent accelerated skin aging. A recent study done in the US, and it was basically, the group was literally cleansing and sunscreen. No other skincare, literally just sunscreen. And the difference between the two groups was, phenomenal, in that it had completely halted, or lessened the effects of aging on the skin by purely just a dedicated sunscreen application every single day.
Has a huge impact, hasn't it? Really, it does. Yeah.
And the thing is, when I look at my skin, Okay, of course I was a child of the I was born in the 70s. You know, as a child, it was like, who'd come back from holidays the brownest, you know?
Yeah.
But nowadays, thankfully, I think people are so much more aware.
Cautious.
And you're cautious, and I would not go a day without applying sunscreen. What's equally important is, though, that you're reapplying it. So you apply in the morning, you find one that is cosmetically pleasing for you. And by that, I mean, you like the feel of it. It sits well on your skin. If you're somebody who wears makeup, makeup sits well on top of it. You need to apply the correct amount, which is generally half a teaspoon for face and neck. And that will give you the sun protection factor that's written on the label. So for example, anything of SPF 30 and above is what I recommend. But if you're not putting on that correct amount, you're not getting SPF 30 and you're not getting SPF 50. The dosage is really important. After 2 hours, you need to reapply. And an easy way to do that is with one of the sunscreen sprays that you can just spray over makeup. Or if you're somebody who doesn't wear makeup, you simply reapply it again. But I can't emphasize enough the importance of it. What is in your foundation, what's in your moisturizer is not enough. Remember, half a teaspoon or 2 finger lengths for your face and neck, and don't forget the ears, and lips as well. You just have to get into that type of behavior, that habit, but equally your children, and get them at a very young age to just be sun smart. But it's so important, and I don't think people actually realize how it accelerates aging of the skin, and how important it is just to create that habit and to stick with that habit. Very important. Again, when it comes to sunscreens, look for ones, if you're somebody who's oily, sometimes you'll see on the packaging non-comedogenic. By that mean, it means it's not going to clog your pores. Again, formulations have come on so much, you don't end up looking like Casper the Ghost.
Yes.
Really, I don't mind what one you use. It's just a case of finding the one that suits you. La Roche-Posay have some lovely formulations. If you're somebody who's a little bit oily prone, Celios, Invisible Fluid is a nice one. They also have 2 new sunscreens in their portfolio. They have an age correct one, and they have an age correct one for oily prone skin. So again, go into your pharmacy and have a look and see what might suit you. Skin Ingredients, their Skin Shield is another lovely one. The one that I personally use, it's an Lumiere MD formulation, and it is their Clear Shield sunscreen. And it has the addition of a little bit of niacinamide in it, which is your vitamin B3, and it's very good for skin. So nowadays you'll find sunscreens that not only protect your skin from UVA and UVB rays, but they also have skincare ingredients in them to help.
Okay, yeah. And the Clear Shield one there that you mentioned, is it actually a clear syrup?
No, it's just, it leaves a lovely finish. It actually, everyone who comes into the clinic here, and it's one I would show them, it just absorbs beautifully, but it leaves a lovely finish on your skin. So you don't have that feeling that you're kind of wearing sunscreen, but equally you have, it's lovely and light, and you have those skincare ingredients in it to help with hydration. It's an oil-free one, but there's lovely hydrators in it. But again, there are so many. The key thing is to find one that suits your skin.
Yes, okay, great. Yeah, so brilliant, thank you.
When you have the basics right, so when you've got your cleansing. Right, your moisturizing right, when you've got your sunscreen, what you can introduce then is what I call the heavy lifters. And these would be your serums. So if you think of a sandwich, and each slice of bread, you've got your cleanser and you've got your moisturizer. Yeah. Think of it like bookends. What slots then in the middle is your serum. And that's going to do the heavy lift. So they are, I call them, the true workhorses. They're going to make the biggest difference. Why? Because they contain the most amount of actives, and the actives are the ingredients that are actually going to move the needle. If you're somebody who has pigmentation or dark spots, a vitamin C serum would be beneficial. or a serum that might have some niacinamide in it, or tranexamic acid. Again, different ingredients will work on different concerns. So you choose the serum according to your concern. If it's loss of firmness, where everything's kind of heading a bit south, you might want to look for something that's going to help with collagen synthesis. So in that instance, you're looking at ingredients like peptides or retinoids, or again, vitamin C. So there's lots of serums out there. You only need, or I think it's much better to find one well-formulated serum that's ticking a few boxes than a whole clatter of individual serums. So, do your research. And I was only talking about this morning on Instagram. It is so bombarding at the moment with all the products. Every day there's a new product, and it's always promising to, erase lines and wrinkles and, remove sun damage and whatnot. You will save yourselves an awful lot of money if you actually seek the advice of a professional who knows what is going to help with your concerns and your issues. And some people have great skin. They don't necessarily have any huge concerns. It's a privilege to age, but at the same time, you do want your complexion to be as healthy as possible. So, there's various ones out there, various different price points. You can go into your pharmacy and your Vichy, La Roche-Posay, there's going to be something in their portfolio that will work for you. And then you can go into clinics and salons, and they might have a certain range, again, with something that might be suitable for you and your concerns. But really, it's a case of they will actually do, as I said, the heavy lifting for you. And some, moisturizers will have obviously skincare ingredients in it as well. But essentially serums, because their molecular weight is much lower, they will actually, or smaller, they'll actually get into where, it needs to work, basically. So serums are very important. And just choose the appropriate one for you. I often hear people come in, I'm using hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, yes, it's going to hydrate your skin. But, if you have, as I said, loss of, collagen or uneven skin tone, or the texture of your skin is slightly bumpy, it's not going to do much else. So look for a serum that potentially has hyaluronic acid within the serum, along with other ingredients. So, for example, Reform Skincare, they have a serum, and it's called Hyal C plus E. So it's got vitamin C, it's got vitamin E, which actually increases the efficacy of vitamin C fourfold. Vitamin C and vitamin E are good partners, but it also has hyaluronic acid in the formula. So within that one serum, which is around €50, you're getting three benefits, shall we say, as opposed to buying 3 separate sunscreens.
Yes.
So it's very important, to recap, as I said, that you do you. So don't buy a serum because your best friend has a serum and it's like working brilliantly for them. Your skin could be completely different. Determine your skin type. How does your skin feel? Is it dehydrated? Is it a bit dry? Now, dehydration is just a skin condition, but often the two get confused, dryness and dehydration. Is your skin oily? Do you have combination skin? I would have combination skin in that I have the oiliness kind of on my T-zone, just forehead.
The same.
My cheeks would be normal. So again, determine what your skin is and what your skin type is. Choose the products accordingly. And I really want to emphasize this: less is more. Stop throwing on product after product after product, okay? And again, this is very important, and this is where, Michelle, you'll see a lot with your own, clients. Sleep, stress, diet will all impact your skin health, and you have to be so mindful of this.
Absolutely, it's such a huge factor. As you said, you have the bookends for that piece, but outside the bookends, then you have your kind of life wheel, you know,
Absolutely.
and that life wheel really needs to come into all functions, because the skin is the biggest organ in the body.
Yeah.
So in order to feed that organ, we do need the sleep,
Yeah.
the food, you know, the water, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
because of the circulation of the blood and the nutrients.
Yeah. And it's very interesting, like the amount of women who, you know, come into me, and if we're doing consultations and I'd be asking them about gut health, and
yeah,
like, you know, do you get bloated? Are you going to the bathroom regularly? And the amount of women who say, oh my God, no, I suffer really badly with bloating, and no, nothing is particularly regular. And that is an alarm bell for me. That's always just right. Okay, this needs to, you know, there's no point in me recommending this for you if you now don't go off and see, right, what is causing that?
Yeah.
So it's very, very important. Sunscreen every single day. Try not think about it. I kind of just say to clients, you know, think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't necessarily want to end up with a set of dentures.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So like, you mind your teeth every day. You don't think twice about brushing your teeth. But your skin, sunscreen, and just find that formula that hydrates your skin, that feels nice on your skin. And I'll give you an example. So in my instance, or for me with my own personal skin, I have my serums in the morning and I'll apply my serum. I don't have particularly dry skin. So my sunscreen I put on straight away because it has moisturizing benefits to it. So I don't necessarily need a bit of moisturizer in the morning. I can go straight from my cleanse serum to sunscreen. But in the evening, I'll apply a little bit of moisturizer. So get intuitive with your skin and start to see how your skin feels. Now, coming into winter, I might need that little bit of moisturization in the morning. At the moment, my skin is absolutely functioning perfectly, going from my serum to my sunscreen. But remember, I have chosen that sunscreen for my skin type. It's hydrating. There's some skincare elements to it, or, you know, ingredients in it. It feels nice on my skin, and I certainly don't feel tight or dehydrated or anything. Absolutely just perfect for me. And sometimes I'll use a tinted sunscreen on top of that as my makeup. So yeah, there's lots of options. And lastly, please, you know, again, and I'm only going to experience here in the treatment room, you know, women will come in with their bag of products. And when I say the amount of stuff sometimes that comes out onto the table, and sometimes I literally I know, and I'll often say, oh, are you following, you know, such and such person? Yeah. I'm seeing the products and I'm like, you do not need all of those. So wherever you are, whatever part, you know, or you're tuning in from, you know, seek out the professional skincare advice from someone you trust, and they can help you. They can cut through the noise and literally put you on the right track, you know, to great skin days, to help you on your journey to healthy, you know, beautiful skin.
Yes, brilliant, Sherna, because again, all those steps really have such a huge routine factor. You know, we're doing a challenge at the moment in the health capsule, and the ladies are doing absolutely brilliant. You know, they're following the routine, and like what you said, the gut health, and they're letting go of the certain things that don't serve them, which would be the sugar, the coffees, you know, and you know, it's good to give the body a break as well, because sometimes the skin needs it, and so forth. But going back to that routine and habit, what you're saying is about habit, isn't it?
Habit. Absolutely. And I think it is that, I think, Michelle, it's very much consistency. If you want to achieve results, and I always say, when you look in the mirror and you're saying to yourself, how do I want my skin to age? How do I want my complexion, my skin health to be? It's about habit forming. It's about sticking to that cleansing serum, you know, moisturizer, sunscreen in the morning, cleansing serum, moisturizer in the evening. You know, every time you're exposed to UV, I mean, get into the habit of looking at the UV index on your weather app. And it will tell you on the app where you know, when the UV index is low or when the UV index is high. You know, sometimes, for example, I will go out first thing in the morning because the UV index is much lower. You wouldn't catch me doing a run in the midday, so, you know, or when the UV index is high. I will still obviously be wearing sunscreen when I go out. But it's about being really, as a sun smart, being consistent with your routine, and sticking with it, and you will see
the benefits,
improvements and benefits. And even if you're somebody who's blessed with beautiful skin, you know, don't be under the illusion that it's going to be like, you know, I mean, we are all going to age. Our skin is going to age. And like I said, it is an absolute privilege, but you can help it age better and age well if you mind it.
Yes, absolutely.
More than you mind your health.
Yes. And I had a client there recently, just talking about clients, you were mentioned there about the gut. I had a client there recently, and she's only in her 20s, you know, she's quite young, and she was on medication for her skin, Sherna, you know, so, but her diet wasn't working with her. So when we put her on a 6-week program, again, you know, she let go of the foods that didn't serve her. We worked with what did, and her skin came on, you know,
it's so important. The skin gut connection is huge, absolutely huge. And sometimes with skin, you will have skin conditions where you do actually need an intervention other than skincare and treatments. And I always say, you know, don't just sit in it. You know, if you're somebody who's experiencing acne, and after, you know, topical treatments and maybe, you know, skin treatments, and if it's not improving and if scarring is starting, you do need to go and seek a dermatologist's advice and potentially intervene, you know, with another a method or another intervention. Because scarring is much harder to treat than the acne. So at the end of the day, if I see any patient of mine or client of mine who comes in, and if scarring is there, that is, no, we need to do something more than
that. And you know, when you have teenagers now, and kind of that they're going into the 20s, and they're still kind of getting this, you know, spots, you know, around there, you know, is that due to the hormone balance, do you think?
Sometimes it is, and I would always say, if it's consistent and nothing, as I said, is moving the needle, I still would get that checked. I mean, sometimes we see PCOS, you know, various different things. Then it's just, I always say, and I, you know, with clients who come to me, let's say for the first time, say, right, we're going to give this a certain time frame. And if I'm not happy within that time frame of where things are going, moving, then we need to up at a level. And I think that's important. And I think, you know, you need to be open to the fact that, you know, sometimes things will work and sometimes things won't work, and that's okay. But it's knowing when to step in then and to intervene to get you on the right track with something that might be a little bit more, as I said, prescription.
Okay. But first to do the holistic approach, I suppose, Sherna, isn't it? So I mean, I think they were absolutely brilliant, those tips. And you know, again, for everybody that, you know, listens in today, and also listens in going forward, because we're going to put this up onto BWell Connect and Thrive as well, Sherna, so they'll be able to get in touch with you there. And then Sherna's website is there at the bottom as well, just in case you do need to connect with her and touch base with her with regards to any questions you might have, any areas of concern you might have, but also again, you know, looking at that holistic approach and that gut approach. Do connect with me as well if you need a good kind of gut therapy, because that's an area that I work on.
For those of you,
absolutely. So and then, you know, work in combination, and that would always be a great way to do as well, you know, work in combination. So Sherna, I suppose, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
An absolute pleasure. I'm wishing all your group now the best on their journey, and thank you for having me, Michelle. It's always a pleasure, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Not at all. Thank you, Sherna, and have a lovely day in West Cork in the nice weather.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Michelle.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.